Again, we have someone who doesn't know what he's doing.
Well, folks, Trump is having a horrible holiday season as the blows just keep on coming. Representative JAsmine Crocket from Texas aimed her sights at Trump's incoming border czar, and we all know she does not hold back.
Somebody's bleach blonde, bad-built butch body that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
A what now?
You guys all know the incoming border czar, right? The guy who said this.
I hear a lot of people say, the talk of a mass deportation is racist. It's threatening to the immigrant community. It's not threatening to the immigrant community. It should be threatening to the illegal immigrant community.
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating families?
Of course there is. Families can be deported together.
You guys tell me if I'm crazy, but does that guy not seem like a John C. Reilly character in a movie where Ricky Bobby becomes the president?
Why do you want to listen to the TV with the stereo on?
Because I like to party.
Joining us now is Congresswoman Jasmine Crocket, Democrat from Texas and member of the Oversight and Agricultural Committees. All right, Congresswoman, when you hear those remarks, what are your initial thoughts?
Again, we have someone who doesn't know what he's doing. And, this idea of, oh, you're illegal and then you go out and have a child. It's not quite that simple, especially when you have people that are doing things like seeking asylum and people that are saying, listen, I'm just trying to make sure that I can live a better life here in the United States. And I want to do everything that I can to become an American citizen or at least get some sort of legal status. And you have, Trump that goes out there, him and his minions, and they say things like, you know what, we're only going to get rid of the bad ones, right? And so people sit there and they're like, wait a minute, you're going to come to my job where I'm working and I may be paying into taxes or whatever, or my kids are at school. I think that there's going to be a rude awakening really on all sides.
Just another thing that MAGA's waking up to, the ridiculousness and racism of Stephen Miller's border plan. It was all outlined right there in Project 2025. Completely ignoring the reality that if you deport 10 million people, you would bring the American economy to a grinding halt.
And he added that those facilities would not be jails, but, quote, open-air campuses designed for families. I'm not sure access to fresh air was a lot of people's issue with that policy, but I'm wondering how plausible that sounds to you.
I'm curious to know if he's ever been to a jail or a prison. The reality is that these are nothing more than detention camps that look a lot like jails and prisons. Obviously, there's what they call the yard when you go to a prison, and that is an open-air facility. But there's always been a lack of humanity when it comes to immigration and disadministration. If people remember the separation before, they may remember that, but they may not remember how much money it cost the United States when we were sued about the fact that these families were separated.
And deportations themselves are
really expensive, right? We know, Texas is like, hey, we will go ahead and give you the land to do what you want to do, but we know that there takes officers, right? So we're talking about needing to hire more officers to execute this. We are talking about you can't just throw people into facilities. You've got to make sure that you feed them, got to make sure that you're keeping them healthy.
Right, and those needs expand if you're talking about children and families
as well. Exactly. So it's going to cost us monetarily up front, but it's also going to cost us because we know, again, that so many of these people are actually contributing to our economy. I don't think that they've ever really had a message, right? Like the only message that we saw during the campaign was deport them, kick them all out, that kind of stuff. That's what he was saying at rallies. But, Democrats, we struggled because we could not really effectively communicate like why immigration isn't the most terrible thing that we've ever experienced, because it's not. We are a country of immigrants, right? And so because we haven't had these conversations about the fact that we get so many of our trained nurses right now because we are losing so many in the healthcare field because of COVID-19, and we know that there haven't been investments made to make sure that we can have those workers coming up. We get a lot of them out of the Philippines, right? So we know that, yes, a lot of businesses, high-tech businesses such as Tesla, have been using those that are coming out of parts of Asia. So, it's crazy that we really aren't having these worldly conversations, or if we aren't talking about what happens with our food supply and who it is that's actually going to work agriculture, who it is that's actually working construction. Like, there are jobs here for everyone, not only those coming in, but those that are actually right here every day. Because when we look at the joblessness numbers, they are low.
And that's a great point that she's making, because there is no job shortage. There's plenty of work to do here in America, and there's plenty of space for everyone. What happened to huddled masses? What happened to the melting pot? When the issue is immigrants versus citizens, you obscure the reality that we're all workers under the same economy. An illegal immigrant working in a chicken factory is contributing to the economy more than they're taking out. Not only that, they have less rights. They have less ability to unionize. And just because they make more money in America shouldn't give their employers carte blanche to abuse them. There should be clear and accessible pathways to citizenship, because the more people that we have who want to come here and improve this country, the better for everybody. And it didn't take long before Tom Homan had to go lick his wounds over on Newsmax.
It's frustrating because anytime you say something, it seems the left just completely twists it, runs with it. I want to play you a video of Texas Congresswoman Jasmine Crocket talking about your capabilities on MSNBC this weekend. Doesn't know what he's doing. Tom, just to go through some of your background, a Border Patrol agent, an investigator, a special agent, supervisor, special agent, assistant director of investigations. I mean, the list goes on and on. You are so beyond qualified. What's your response to that?
Well, look, I forgot more about this issue than she'll ever know. I mean, for God's sakes, I've been doing it 34 years. But look, there has been a rude awakening. A rude awakening was in November at the election. There was a rude awakening that American people are sick of an open border. American people are sick of illegal alien crime in this country. I mean, how many young women had to be raped and murdered and burned alive? How many MS-13 and Trinidad Guaya had to be in our major cities committing crimes against U.S. citizens? How many angel moms and dads do we have to have in this country that lost their children at the hands of someone that wasn't supposed to be here, and they buried their children? Want to talk about family separation? And as far as family detention, all of a sudden the discussion goes from family detention to family separation. Family detention is the complete opposite of family separation. So look, I don't know who this lady is, but apparently she's not real smart. But she can say what she wants. Look, I made this clear. I don't care what they say about Tom Homan, because I've done this job for a long time. I think the president got a mandate in November. He called me and helped me fix the border. And look, under the Trump administration, we have the most secure border in my lifetime. We're going to get that secure border again, because secure border saves lives, and no one can argue that. Under the Biden administration, we got a historic number of aliens have died across this border, nearly 4,000. An historic number of Americans, over 250,000, died from fentanyl comes across that border. Their policies are killing Americans at record numbers, they're killing aliens at record numbers. President Trump is going to secure this border and save lives, just not of Americans, but of aliens too. A secure border saves lives. That's exactly what we're going to do starting day one.
That loser loves to say the word alien, completely dehumanizing these people. Most fentanyl comes over legal ports of entry, carried by legal American citizens. To put those fentanyl deaths on the hands of people who are just trying to come over here and make better lives for themselves is absolutely horrible. And excuse my passion on this video, but I'm half Mexican myself, and I live in Texas, and a lot of this stuff does hit home. So I hope everyone had a great holiday. I appreciate you guys stopping by. I'm Tony Hinderman with Really American, and I'll catch you next time.